Corey here with Toothless Reptiles. I just wanted to show you guys how I set up my egg boxes real quick since Onyx is about to lay some more eggs. But I will take the box, put it on the scale, and I'll tear that, and I'll switch the units to grams, because I always measure the hatch rate in grams. And this is 100% dehydrated hatch-rite. So there is no moisture in this at all. When you buy it, it comes pre-impregnated with, it comes pre-hydrated. But I don't trust the hydration, especially because sometimes the bags have holes in them, and I just don't trust it. So I dehydrate this all 100% so it's completely dry, and then I'll hydrate it myself. So usually I put 600 grams of hatch-rite in here. So I'll try to do this whilst holding the camera. So we'll watch that. And we'll keep going here. And it looks like probably 400 will be plenty. This is actually a different size container than I normally use. So 400 seems to be more than enough. So when you do the thickness of this, you want to take into account that you're obviously going to dig this area down. So here, let's level that out a little bit. So you're going to kind of shove the egg down in there. So the egg is going to kind of sit down in the hatch-rite, and you want an air gap. You don't ever want the egg touching the bottom of the bin. You want it to be able to breathe all around, 360, all around the entire egg. So the more hatch-rite you have in there, kind of the better, but also keep in mind that you want an air gap between the top of the egg and the top of the tub. So this is probably perfect. So now what we're going to do is this is medical grade distilled water. You don't have to get medical grade. It's just what I get. And it's just normal distilled water. And this is for CPAP systems. These are like the systems that people wear when they, before they go to bed, older people that kind of snore a lot and have breathing issues when they're sleeping. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 400 grams of distilled water. So that way this substrate will be mixed at a 1-to-1 ratio of hatch-rite in grams to water in grams. So we're going to add 400 grams of distilled water. And then you don't really need to worry about mixing it up. Here, hold on. I got to try to get this open real quick. You don't really need to worry too much about mixing up the hatch-rite. Once you get it in the incubator and let it kind of settle, the moisture is definitely going to spread itself out. So we're going to keep adding until we get up to 800, which should be close to a full bottle. If you get a little extra, it doesn't really matter. So we're actually at 820 is what we should be at. Cool. So now we have a 1-to-1 ratio of hatch-rite and water. The next thing you're going to want to do is clear this scale, tear that, and get a weight on the entire tub, and that's 1837, so we can round that up to 1840. And generally I'll write in Sharpie 1840 empty, and that's what I'll write on there. And then as long as your eggs are fertile, when you put all the eggs in here, you want to weigh this whole tub again. And that will give you an absolute weight of the tub with the eggs with the moisture. And then as you go through incubation, every week or 2 weeks, you can take this tub out of the incubator and weigh it to make sure that it still has the same amount of moisture inside the tub. Because there is going to be somewhat of an exchange between the tub and the incubator. It's not a whole lot, but it is enough to where with an incubation period between 7 and 8, sometimes 9 months, you do want to make sure that this box stays hydrated how you want it to be. So the only other issue is that if you have eggs in here and they're infertile, when those eggs start to die off and you take those eggs out, you're going to need to reweigh this tub so you can get a new weight on it with the infertiles pulled out of it, because obviously that's going to affect the overall weight. And if you don't incorporate that new weight into the tub, you're going to end up thinking the tub is light, and you're going to add more water, and you're going to end up with, maybe a 1.5 to 1, somewhere around there, some type of ratio. It's going to be too much moisture for the tub. So just make sure you're weighing everything as you go, and you're going to try to maintain this weight plus the weight of all the eggs for the duration of incubation. And that's pretty much all you do. And that's how I set up all of my egg boxes. It seems to work really well for me. I enjoy using the Hatch-Rite. I like it. It's been working really well for a very long time for me. Huh, girl? She's watching me do this stuff. And hopefully you guys got something out of that. Keep feeding.